So after gaining promotion to the Senior A Hurling Championship last season, Courcey Rovers are now in the final of the competition, playing against Father Needs this Sunday at 4 o'clock in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. And joining me here is Sean Guiheen, the manager of the team, former Peership player, brilliant manager as well. So glad to have you on, Sean. And how were the players before the game?
No, they're in great form, Matthew, to be fair. They're very relaxed. I suppose it's handy that we had been in the final last year. Similar situation, I suppose, as this year. And they're familiar with the situation, the dress rooms, the field. I suppose winning the county last year. So it's not new to them, and they're really looking forward to it.
I can imagine. So, and I suppose, did you, at the start of the season, did you ever envisage you'd make a final? Because like being promoted from Premier Intermediate is pretty tough, but to reach all the way to the Senior A final, the second grade in Cork hurling, like that would have been a big ask, I could imagine.
I suppose, you know, it was when I suppose when the draw was made, Matthew, you know, it was an extremely tough group we got, you know, and don't get me wrong, every game at that level is hard and tough. They're all 50-50 games, but you know, when you go up, you probably hope to get something a little bit easier than the three teams that we got. To get out of the group stage, I think it was a great boost to us because we were very competitive in the three games we played. And I suppose when we got out of it, then we said, you know, come here, we're in the quarterfinal now. Anything can happen. Let's get a performance right. We'll have a cut and take one game at a time, and that's what we've done.
Exactly. So, and even looking at the group stage, like I did get Father O'Neill's in there this Sunday's finals, of course. And you also had Blarney, who've the likes of Mark Coleman and the Barretts of the team as well. So that wasn't an easy group to get out of.
No, like even Killa, Matthew, they're a very traditional hurling club. They're very good, and I watched them this year a few times in the league, and they were very competitive. They beat a lot of senior teams in the league, Middleton, the Pearships, Bishopstown, you know, and they kept their status. So that first game was very important to us because I think it's very important to get off to a winning start. And I imagine Killa were looking at our game, probably saying that out of the four teams, probably Courcey Rovers would be the game that they probably feel they could win. So I think by winning that first game, it certainly brought us on with belief, I suppose, and a lot more hope in the last two games going into. So it was great to get it off to a good start, you know.
Definitely was. And I suppose like playing Father O'Neill's at the group stage, like would that have been a positive to you, especially that you're playing the final this Sunday?
I definitely think so, Matthew, because from day one, they're the raging hot favourites to win the competition, you know. I suppose, I imagine even they've been knocking on the door the last few years to get over the line, and they've been very close. And if you look at it, the Charleville 2 years ago, they narrowly lost to Charleville. And you look at Charleville's results this year, they drew with the Bars. They led from a majority of the time against Blackrock and got beaten by 2 points. And here the two pies are in the county final. And likewise with Kanturk, they were very close to Kanturk coming down the home straight last year. And Kanturk pipped them, and Kanturk knocks out Middleton this year in the county final. So to go up against Father Neill's, yes, they deserve to win the day, but we were competitive, I thought. You know, for conceded a goal late in the game, all right, but it kind of put us where we were. We found where you're at. You know, that we can at least we can compete, and it gave us hope. You know.
Yeah, and I suppose, like, I haven't thought about this before until you said it actually. Like, Charlotte do so well against the Bars and against Blackrock, the two county finalists, obviously. And Father O'Neill's then nearly beating Charleville a few seasons ago, very unlucky to lose that final. And you're playing Father O'Neill's this Sunday. Like, would that give you confidence, even if you don't win on Sunday, if you put up a brilliant performance against Father O'Neill's, that you can push on even further?
Well, I think it's all, like, you know, finals are there to be won, you know, and I know as the way we want to do it, I suppose, to perform. We just want to get our performance right on Sunday and perform to our very, 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 very maximum and see what we can do. And if it's good enough to win, it'd be fantastic. If we lose, we're expected to lose. You know, but I still know you're in there. You want to win. We're up against it. We know that because they're a serious team. I mean, you look on paper what they have, and even Decky Dalton, I think by all accounts, he's back in the Cork senior hurling panel. Billy Dunn's form this year, he's lighting up the lights, and I imagine Pat Ryan and his Cork's selectors will be down Sunday watching Billy Dunn. He could be back on the senior hurling panel the way he's performing, and then of course with John Mellerick. But we just focus on our own house really, and we just, as I said, we're just trying to get our performance right for next Sunday, and hopefully be performing. You never know.
And just before the final, obviously against Ballyhay in the quarterfinals, and for Moy especially the semi-finals, like Ballyhay, you just beat them by 17 points to 16. For Moy, it was a Sean Guiheen inspired 4-goal performance in the semi-final, winning 5-14 to 14 points. Like getting over them 2 hurdles must have been massive.
It was huge because you know yourself, you get out of the group stage and you're in the quarterfinals, it's knockout, and you know you're playing Ballyhay first, and I know Ballyhay what they bring to the table. They're always competitive. They're a brilliant club, and you never get nothing easy off them. We were 7 up at half time, and we just lost away in the second half. And you could probably put that down to Ballyhay. The momentum turned, and looked. I think they took the lead with about in the 57, 58 minutes for the first time. And you think it's going away from us. We found it hard to get a score, and we were doing mistakes. But I got to give great credit to our fellas. Again, you know, they found a way, and we got an equalising score. I think they went ahead again in injury time, and you think, God, this is it. And to get 2 points to win it, I give great credit to my guys again. And that, you know, they just don't know, they don't give up, and they found a way. For my, again, I branch out more often than not. I go into games, and I'd have 3 or 4 times I've seen them playing, and I knew nothing about for my. So I knew very little. So we went into the game kind of trying to focus on our own performance, obviously. And you know, we had a decent start. Then they got control of the game. They went 7-3 up. We got 2 goals. I think it settled us. We got a goal early in the second half, and I think that was kind of one-way traffic then after that. But I'm delighted with from Sean Guiheen. I think Sean is a fabulous player. He's a big player for us. Very honest guy, great guy, and I think he's shown this year what he can bring to the table. You know, because he's a Cork player. You know, he has that ability. He can win his own ball, high or low, whatever. He's a threat always, but his work ethic is more important to me. The way he works and he chases and harasses defenders. He's a huge player for us.
You talked about earlier Billy Dunn and Decky Dawes, and rightly so, they're outstanding players for Páirc Uí, and Pat Ryan will be taking a look at them, I'm sure. But your own player, Sean Guiheen, he scored, I think, 6-3 from playing the championship so far. Like, will Pat Ryan have a look at him in the final this Sunday as well? Because he is on fire.
Well, I suppose with Sean, he's been on the Cork panel for the last few years, Matthew. You know, I suppose he's 22 now, and I suppose that he might feel it's time from now to, you know, he's done his time, you know, 3 years, and maybe this time now to give him an opportunity and chance. He's certainly probably something that we Cork might need. You know, he's the type of guy that can win hard ball, high ball, low ball. He's very physical, and I think that definitely they'll be looking at him, yeah.
And even other players in the panel, I'm looking at your scores here. Richard Sweetman with 29 points, Tycho Sullivan with 23 points, Stephen Nine has done well with 9 points as well, Rowan 9 with 1-4. So they're all chipping in.
Yeah, Matthew, they're all. This year we were kind of, I suppose, we were working really hard on getting the spray scores around the field of play. We worked very hard on that. And everyone are comfortable. Like, look, Richard had an injury at the start of the year, was out for a few months, but he's come back now. He's really finding his form. Stephen Nine, you know what Stephen Nine can do, and Ronan Nine. These guys, Owen Crowley, Jerry O'Neill. You know, they're all good guys. They're all good Courcey Rovers players, you know.
And even last season, like after getting promoted from that Premier Intermediate Championship, and even playing in the Munster Championship against Kilmiley last year as well, and coming into this championship, honestly, no, what was the realistic objective this season? Was it to get to the knockout stages and take it from there?
I suppose, Matthew, you know, when again I go back to the draw, when the draw was made, I think that we just focused. We said we just focus on the first game, and we see what happens. When we won the first game, then we put up ourselves in a good position now to at least get out of the group now. So you had 2 opportunities against Páirc Uí and Blarney to do that, which gave us a great chance. And obviously, when we beat Blarney in the 3rd game, I felt then, you know, I just felt like got out of a good group. It was a great test for us to see where we're at, because we found in the league, the Blarney and Ballyhay were in the league with us, and the rest of the teams were Premier Intermediate or lower intermediate, and you don't know where you're at. You know, you feel like, okay, we won the games comfortable enough, we topped the table, and we said like, we said like, we're going in against Killer, we're going in cold, are we up to the pace of the game? But to be fair to the boys, they adapted very well, and they're comfortable enough, and yeah, we're fine, we're going well, and we're happy. We're at.
And getting promoted last season, Father O'Neill's obviously losing a good few finals in senior A and being close year on year. Like, even if you were to lose on Sunday now, would it be a big achievement even to reach a final? Like, the people of Courceys, I could imagine, are proud of the team already.
Yeah, the journey we've been on, Matthew, has been incredible. You know, and it's only in a like kind of 2 years now we're at it. We've got a great response from the players. To be fair, every game they've played, like, they've been superb for us. They owe us nothing, and they owe Courcey Rovers nothing at the minute. I think the supporters, you know, even the joy when we won the semi-final last day, to come down onto the field of play in the dressing rooms afterwards, the happiness. Like, these days don't come every year, and that's my point to the players and to the supporters. You got to make the most of them, out of it. And as I know, we're big underdogs, and I know they're 1-6 on Father O'Neill's to win, and everyone is tipping them to win comfortable and so on like that. For me, it's different. I think that we want to go and win. And I feel it's a chance, an opportunity for us to win. Yes, we have to be very good in the day. We need to get the rub of the green, you know, but I just feel, okay, if we lose, yes, you'll be disappointed. I'd be massively disappointed. But the objective is Sunday to try and win the game.
And what people watching the podcast might not know is you're a former Páirc player, and you won a county title back in the 90s as well. So what was your time in the Páirc like? Like a very good team, I could imagine.
I was very fortunate, I suppose, Matthew. The time I made my debut in '89, and we made a breakthrough in 1990. You know, we had a very good team that time, and probably should have won more and achieved more. We won our second one in '95. Then we got beaten in '92 by Aaron's Own. We lost in 3 semi-finals: '93, '94, '96. And then we didn't, you know, 2004, I was on that panel that time, we won in 2004. So I suppose my own playing career, I was lucky, I was fortunate. I was on a very good team, you know.
And what brought you down to Courceys from the Páirc? Like, the Páirc, a huge hurling club, and then coming down to Courceys, like what made you come down in the first place?
See, I suppose I'm in coaching a good while now, and it's something I love doing. I get a buzz out of it, you know. And I had been the Páirc coach in 2013 and 14, and then you feel, you know, you done your time, you got to move on, you know, somewhere else. And I got a phone call off Sean Guiheen, the chairman, and could he meet up with me and have a chat with me, and we had a couple of chats and a couple of meetings, and yeah, we decided to go for it, and yeah, that was how it worked out that way.
It's been some ride since.
Amazing, unbelievable journey, to be fair. Probably something to start when I went down there. You're kind of going into it, you know, with COVID that time. So we actually didn't get on the field of play until last May. So you're saying you're kind of trying to get your stamp in the team and so on like that. You're kind of saying, Jesus, like, you know, normally you start in January and you get a feel for them and they get a feel for you. But as I said, the buy-in from the players from day one has been sensational. They're great young fellas. They're willing to learn. They adapt very easy to situations. We have a great relationship. You know, they're very respectful, and we enjoy one another's company. We have a bit of banter, we have a crack, and you know, we're having a crack the weekend now. We're out swimming and a bit of banter, and it's nice and relaxed. They're a great bunch of players, and they're guys that certainly I'd love to bring into war with. You can bank on them, you know.
And like, I know you're big underdogs going into this game against Father O'Neill's. Nobody's really backing you going to the final. Well, some people are, but what would it mean to the people of Courceys to get promoted to the top grade of Cork hurling? Like, especially for a club down here, it isn't really, you know, it doesn't happen too often. So, like, for Courceys to go up to the senior grade of Cork football, that'd be huge.
Sure, it'd be amazing, Matthew. To be fair, like, you know, you just even see last year the people, you know, from young and old crying after the county final last year, and even after the Munster, we beat Magret in the semi-final, the Munster semi-final, and the enjoyment and the joy, and you know, even we got beaten in the Munster final. But they're a very passionate club, and they're so well run down there, and they love their hurling, lovely people. So it'd be great for them. It'd be great to back up senior. You know what I mean? There's a young team there, to be fair. They're young, and there's a lot of potential there. And so, look, fingers crossed, you never know.
And that young talent, like, will it drive you on in years to come? Like, even if you lose on Sunday, like, the talent is coming through in Courcey, some huge talent.
Yeah, look, listen, I think the future looks bright down there. I really do. I think there's great young fellas coming up. And they have a structure, Matthew, which is important. Like, they have a structure. They have a very good chairman down there, Sean O'Callaghan. He's driving on the whole thing. And underage, we see the underage structures. There's very good coaching being done down there. There's numbers are picking up. And yeah, the future looks good down there. There's a very good club, very well run. They're very together down there, very united, loyal bunch. So it's very promising down there at the moment.
And that finding the Senior A Hurling Championship, the County Senior A Hurling Championship, Father Leeds against Courcey Rovers is on at 4 o'clock in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. And I'd really recommend that you go down to that game. It'll be a huge game in Páirc Uí Chaoimh on Sunday. Thanks, Sean, for coming on the podcast. Wish you the best of luck on Sunday. And the whole of West Cork and the whole of this region really is behind Courcey Rovers on Sunday.
Thanks a million, Matthew. I appreciate it. Bye.